Well, the SAVE plan is officially dead. It was announced recently that there was a settlement between the Department of Education and other parties to finally resolve the case that had held up the SAVE plan or the future of the SAVE plan in court, basically tied up in litigation. And so it's really too bad. I mean, we all knew it was coming because especially even prior to the passage of the One Big Beautiful Bill Act, the Republicans were basically killing it. And so now it's basically official. So now anybody on the SAVE plan, they have to choose another income-driven repayment plan, or they're going to be forced to move at some point in the future. There's no word yet on the exact time frame, but if they don't move themselves, at some point they're going to get moved by the government. Now, I was telling this to someone recently and basically explained to this person that while this is not a great news, we all expected it to be coming, but the important thing to expect now is that the payments may go up by as much as double for this particular person. And this person didn't really understand, well, like, why would the payments double? It's not like the interest rate is changing. It's not like the balance is changing, right? It's the repayment plan that's changing. So I shared with this person the basic math behind how payments are calculated. And so under the SAVE plan, or let me take a step back, under income-driven repayment plans, the way that the payment is calculated is that they start with your adjusted gross income off your tax return. They subtract off some percentage of the federal poverty level for your family size, and your family size is determined by the number of dependents claimed on your tax return and whether or not you're filing like a single or married or whatever. And then that difference, right? So adjusted gross income minus the federal poverty level, that difference is called discretionary income. And then they take a percentage of that and then divide that number by 12, and that's your monthly payment. So under the SAVE plan, which was the most generous repayment plan, it was adjusted gross income minus 225% of federal poverty level. Now, to give you an example of how much federal poverty level is within the lower 48 contiguous states, for a household size of one, in 2025, the federal 225% of the federal poverty level was $35,212. So you take your adjusted gross income minus 35,212, whatever that remaining number is, discretionary income, and the SAVE plan, multiply that by 5%, you divide it by 12, and that was your monthly payment. But this person that I was speaking to is likely going to have to move to the income-based repayment plan. And so the math generally works the same way, but the numbers are a little bit different. So again, we start with the same figure, adjusted gross income, except instead of subtracting out 225% of federal poverty level, we subtract out 150% of federal poverty level. So again, in 2025, lower 48 states, family size one, 150% of federal poverty level is $23,475, or $12,000 less than what the number was at 225% federal poverty level. And then the remainder, which is the discretionary income, instead of multiplying by 5% like in the SAVE plan, it's now multiplied by 10%. And so when I explained the math to this person I'm speaking to about their loan, we did a quick and dirty math. I didn't have exact numbers on this person's adjusted gross income, but once we put through the math, the payment unfortunately doubled, right, in their particular case. So now we don't know when this person's loans are going to be transitioned to the new repayment plan, right? That could be next month or next year. Nobody really knows because obviously a lot of processing has to take place. But what I did tell this person is that, hey, you know that your payment's going to go up, right? And now if it doesn't go up till next year, maybe this person's income's going to go up even more, or maybe the income's a little bit lower, or they could do some things to lower their adjusted gross income. But we already know that basically this person's payment is going to double. And because we know that already, more or less, in their particular case, I told this person, look, you do what you want. It's your money. But if I were you, I would be starting to prepare now, right? Like really looking closely at my budget, where I'm spending, where I can cut back, how to make this number work. This person said their first reaction is, well, what if I got a second job? You can do that, but remember, second job is more income, which is going to raise your adjusted gross income, which is then going to raise the payment that's ultimately calculated, right? So getting a second job to make loan payments when you're on an income-driven repayment plan doesn't make any sense. It just ends up hurting you, basically. So this person, not surprisingly, looked basically horrified. I don't blame that person. I probably would have had the same reaction, but that's what it is. And so we know that with the result of the settlement, the SAVE plan is definitely gone. So if you're in the SAVE plan right now, you can do the basic math as I just outlined in this video, but unless your income's drastically going down, your payment's gonna go up. So you need to prepare for that now and look at what you can do to handle it. Anyway, that's all for today. As always, I hope you found this information useful. Please stay safe, stay healthy, and I'll see you next time.